Hello. Did you know that today we're already halfway through Advent? That means that in 12 days' time it'll be Christmas Eve and then it'll be Christmas Day. Isn't it exciting? I hope you're all having fun getting ready for Christmas. And it's been lovely hearing back from some of you about the goodie bags we sent out and the things that you've enjoyed doing. There's still time to send us pictures if you want to share the crafts or other things that you've done. Now, I've been thinking about those crafts in the bags and how they're all to do with the same sort of thing. Can you remember what they all are? They're all to do with the stable and especially the baby in the manger. At Christmas time, there are lots of things around with that kind of picture, aren't there? Maybe not this year, but usually you'll do a Christmas play at school and that might have that scene in it. And you can also see it on this Christmas card that I've got, and this candle holder that's got everybody round the edge, and the stable in the middle. And I also have these people, my nativity set, which I like to put out for a Christmas decoration. But who are all these people and why are they there? Well, the Bible tells us that God chose each of these people for their own special reason. Here's Mary, for instance. When God decided that his son should come into the world to help us, he wanted him to be born, just like we all are, and grow up so that he would know all about what being a person was like. So he chose Mary to be the mother of his son. He sent an angel to tell her what was going to happen, that she was going to have a baby and that it would be the saviour that God had promised. Now, God knew that having a baby to look after would be hard work for Mary, so he chose Joseph to help her and to look after them both. He sent an angel to talk to Joseph too, to tell him what his plan was. Before the baby was born, everybody had to go to the town that their family was from so that the government could count how many people there were altogether. For Mary and Joseph, it was a long journey to Bethlehem, and they knew they'd have to stay overnight when they got there. But when they arrived, there was nowhere left for them to stay. So they had to sleep in a place where there were animals. Now, you might already have known about Mary and Joseph, but do you know why God chose the shepherds to be there? If you were at Holiday Club this summer, you'll remember that the shepherds were the very first people to hear the good news that God's son had been born. Now, the shepherds were not everybody's favourite people. They were poor and they were not important. Some people thought that they were smelly because they spent all their time with the animals. Some people thought they stole things. But God picked them to be the first people to hear his good news because he wanted to know that the news was for everybody, even the people that nobody else thought were important. Everybody. The wise men had a long journey. They came from another country and they had to travel even further than Mary and Joseph to get to Bethlehem. Their job was studying the stars. So God sent them a message through the stars to tell them that his king had been born. He picked them because he wanted everybody to know that his good news was for everyone, not just the people who lived in Mary and Joseph's country, but the whole world. That's especially good for me, and I expect a lot of you as well, because we don't come from the same country as Mary and Joseph either. And the most important figure in this scene is Jesus. He was the special baby king, God's son, come into the world to save us. Save us from what? Well, God knew that people had a big problem. You see, God, who made us, should be in charge of everybody, but we all want to be in charge of ourselves. That makes us ignore God And often we're pretty horrible to each other as well. But God is in charge. And so if we keep saying no to him, then eventually he has to say no to us too. No to our selfishness. No more of the good things we take for granted. No to getting to be with him forever. But he loves us, so he decided on a plan. His son, the baby, Jesus, came into the world and grew up just like all of us, but he never ignored God and he never did anything wrong. When he was a man, he spent time talking to people, telling them about God and telling them how God's in charge. And then some people had him killed because they didn't like what he was saying. They thought they'd got rid of him, but they didn't realise that even the dying was part of God's plan. You see, because he hadn't done anything wrong, when Jesus died, that was like God saying no to him instead of all of us. That means we can be friends with God and get to be with him forever. And all we have to do is rely on Jesus for what he's done for us. The best part is that God brought Jesus to life again afterwards. That's what we celebrate at Easter. But at Christmas, we celebrate the gift God gave to us when the baby, his son, came into the world. Next Saturday, we'll have another video for you to show you how you can make a Christingle, just like the ones we usually make in our special service at Christmas. So we hope you'll join us again then. Bye.